Hello, and welcome to what is potentially one of a few Walt Disney World or Disney planning videos. So today I just wanted to talk to you all about Disney dining. So if you're not familiar with the process at Walt Disney World, you can book your dining reservations for when you have a trip coming up to 60 days in advance. Now, it is a bit of a minefield when it comes to dining reservations, and yeah, let's just say it can get a little bit stressful at times, but I thought I'd put together a little tips video just to tell you all about the process and how it works and how I found it. So we do have a trip coming up. We have a trip coming up in the next 60 days, which is really exciting. We cannot wait. So on Friday, it was actually the start of that 60-day window. So when it comes to that point, your dining reservations do open. Now, these dining reservations go fast. No exaggeration there whatsoever. It is literally, imagine trying to get Glastonbury tickets or something similar. It's like that, like they're gone in seconds, especially for like the hottest restaurants that people really want to go to. So when it comes to this, you can either do it on the app or you can do it online. And for anybody staying at a Walt Disney World resort, you can do that for up to the first 10 days. So from that 60-day window, the first day of your arrival, you've got 10 days ahead to book up. If you're staying off-site, you can do it day by day. So your 60 days from your arrival day, you'll be able to book for your arrival day. Then as each day goes, you will just have to make the bookings as and when, if you want to do that. But for Disney World resort guests, they get a 10-day grace period basically ahead. I think that that's something quite new, because when we went last year, we could book the full 2 weeks in advance. And I think you used to be able to do it for up to 3 weeks. As you'll see a bit later on, I got halfway through and actually stopped and Googled what now the process is, because I could only get 10 days ahead, and I started to panic thinking, oh my God, have they got like the wrong information for us? Has our travel provider passed over the wrong information or the wrong dates, and they think that we're only staying for 10 days? What's going on? So for Disney World Resorts guests, from now it's 10 days ahead. After that, you can check the next day, if that makes sense, up until the end of your stay. So it is a little bit more difficult now, I will say that. For us last year when we were booking as new people, being able to do the full 14 days in advance was great, because it meant that I had to do one massive booking and then that was it. I was pretty much done. The only thing that did come up a couple of times was when our plans changed and we changed days that we were going to whatever park. I just had to make a few adjustments, but that was easy enough to do on the app. So not being able to do that full 14 days in advance is a bit of a pain, but it's not the end of the world. They are still giving us that full 10 days in advance, which is great to get those hot booking restaurants. So where did we want to book? We did go last year and we did spend a lot of time in what are known as table service restaurants. So table service restaurants just mean that basically exactly what it says. You sit down at a table and 99% of the time the food will be brought to you, or it's a buffet or something like that. The majority of these do need a reservation. So that's the reason for the 60 days ahead window. There are of course other restaurants available throughout the park, but we'll talk about that a bit later on. So we did visit last year and we spent a lot of time in table service restaurants. We had a bit of a different view on things this year. So last year it was very much, we'll pick what looks cool to us. This year we decided that although a lot of the restaurants that we did go to, we really enjoyed, we wanted to try something different, because there are so many restaurants within Disney World that we thought, do you know what? It might be worth just trying something different and going with something new that we've never tried before. Maybe even pushing ourselves a little bit with the food that we try this time as well. Where are we booking, or where are we going to try and book this year? So we have on our list as our preferred restaurants, if we can get them, Topolino's Terrace. So we've seen a lot about Topolino's Terrace, and the reason that we want to go is for the character breakfast that they do. We did go to a character breakfast last year, which was great, but this time we wanted to try Topolino's Terrace. Also, we have Skipper Canteen. Skipper Canteen is a returning visitor from our list last year, but we absolutely loved it in here. And to be honest, I think it's probably one of the best table services in Magic Kingdom. Ogre's Cantina, of course, it's not a trip to Galaxy's Edge without stopping by Ogre's for a cheeky little cocktail. Le Cellier, which is a steakhouse in Epcot in the Canada Pavilion. Beaches and Cream, ice cream parlour at the Yacht Club Resort. Yak and Yeti in Animal Kingdom. Roundup Rodeo, which is a brand new Toy Story themed barbecue restaurant, which we're really excited to give it a go. Wine Bar George, 50s Primetime Cafe. Space 220 over in Epcot, Ohana at the Polynesian Resort, Via Napoli, and also we had a couple of things on our list. So Via Napoli was one of them, and also Crystal Palace for breakfast. These were two that we weren't too bothered about whether we get, but it would be really nice to be able to if we can. One of the main reasons for wanting to try Crystal Palace for breakfast is it is also a character breakfast, but you can get some amazing shots. If you can get a nice early table, you can get some amazing shots of the castle while no one's there. So that's really cool. 60-day window arrives. I am at work and I asked my manager for special permission basically to take some time out to make sure that I was there, because I knew that if I didn't, we would miss out on these tables. Rob unfortunately wasn't able to help me out, so it did take me a little bit longer than I would have liked, but I was there ready and waiting. Now, don't do what I did. I listened to somebody else and was there an hour too early because of the daylight saving time difference. So the video that I watched, which gave me some tips the first time that I went, talked about being there 4 hours before. In fact, it was actually 5 because we aren't currently in British summertime. So the time difference is 5 hours as opposed to 4. Embarrassingly, I went back to my desk for a bit, did a bit more work, came back again, ready to go at 10:45. The reason that I was there at 10:45 is because some people do say that some restaurants have availability in that 15 minutes before. I personally have never experienced that. For me, last year when we went, it was 5:02, and this year it was on the dot 11 o'clock when everything opened. So, you know, just be mindful of that and just make sure that you do get there with plenty of time, because the last thing that you want is to get there when you think it's going to open and actually reservations open 15 minutes earlier. So it's always worth being there and ready that little bit earlier as well. Make sure you've got a bank card ready. One thing that I forgot to do, which I knew that I needed, but I still left it at home and completely forgot to take it with me, was my card details. Luckily I have them saved on my phone, so I was able to access those, but just make sure that you've got either a credit or debit card ready. You won't get charged anything unless you're booking like a show or maybe like a dining package or something in advance. So things like hoop-de-doo review, dessert parties, fireworks packages, all of those things do need to be paid for in advance. If you're just making a normal reservation, they literally just hold your card details in case you don't show up. They don't charge you anything to make the reservation, which is great. As long as you are ready, get yourself in the zone, you know, get some Disney tunes on if that's what you need. I had music playing while I was doing it. It was great. And just get ready to get in that zone and go. Those bookings will go, so make sure that you're ready. So when you get onto the Disney World website, you will need to log into your My Disney Experience account. So pop your details in there. Once that's done and you're logged in, you'll then need to click on to make dining reservations. So the race is on. It's 11 a.m. and I am going for it. First stop is to get that booking at Topolino's Terrace, because that is a hot ticket. Getting that is really, really tough. So breakfast booking, get that done first. Make sure that you've got your card details ready, as I said. Go. Then I would look for the next thing on your list, which for us would have been Ohana. By this point, Ohana had already gone. Gutted about that. But next on my list was Beaches and Cream. So that was my next booking that I wanted to make. I then moved on to Ogres, made sure that we got some bookings in for there. The website can be a bit buggy at times, so the best things that I found were to look by the location. So if you know where that restaurant is, as in you know what park it's in, use the filter tool, or you know what resort it's in even, or like Disney Springs or wherever, you can use the filter tool at the top, which allows you to select where you want to go and where that restaurant is. Then you can also filter by time, which is great. So on the website, there is a filter where you can select your time window. There's other filters that you can apply as well, like if you've got mobility needs or anything like that, all of those filters are of course available. If, for example, you needed a restaurant where the person is able to stay sat in a wheelchair, you can filter by that as well, which is really, really great. It's great to see that they are being that inclusive when it comes to these table bookings at restaurant. If you can, it's great if 2 people can work on it at the same time, or a couple of people from your party, because you can divide and conquer and get as many tables booked as you can in the shortest space of time. If you have got multiple people, I'll probably break down the restaurants and the days, plan that out in advance, and basically just send each person off on booking those tables and being responsible for that part of the trip. Then suddenly the website crashes. and I was sat there, I was refreshing, I was panicking. I checked my phone and my phone hadn't opened up that additional 10 days yet, so it was only letting me book for the arrival day. I don't know why that happened. That's never happened before, but the website crashed. When this happens, try not to panic. I did panic a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I was starting to get really nervous about the time and what I was potentially missing out on and all of those things. So I had to physically close it, reopen it, reload it up, load back up my Disney experience. Once I'd done that, I was then able to go ahead and book a couple more restaurants. Then it happened again. So I double checked my phone, again, nothing was loading up. So unfortunately I had to go back, log out, log back in, reload the page up. I literally had to log out of my Disney experience, re-enter my details, log back in. So when we were at Epcot last time, I picked up this from the UK pavilion, which says my favourite colour is sparkle, and it's got Tinkerbell and the children there. You can't really see it because of the light, but I absolutely love it and I use it more or less every day. It's great. Back to dining. So yeah, if that does happen, if it does crash, don't panic, just reload it back up. It may take you a little bit longer, and unfortunately some of the tables that you want to may go. There's nothing that you can do about it in that point, and that's the best way to think about it. One other thing that you can do is to filter, as I said, by location, but if you're not too bothered or you're not sure where you'd like to go, you can filter by time. So you could just say, I want a table at around 8 o'clock, what's available? And that's great if you're getting closer and closer to the time and maybe you don't have a reservation on that day, but actually you decide that you want something. One other thing that you can do, which for me, I had not realised was available on the website. It's not something that I use, but I did use it a little bit when we were actually on our trip last year. You can filter by set times as well. So they have a breakfast, lunch and dinner category that you can filter by. My one issue with this is they don't define what those times mean. So if I filter for dinner and I have a different idea of what time dinner is to say what the app is showing me, then I'm not necessarily going to know what time it's referring to. So I would definitely say if you know the time that you like to eat, or you know the time that you would like to eat, I'd say filter by time. If that doesn't work and you can't find a table at that time, then just keep checking, play with those filters a little bit. Personally, I didn't find those filters particularly beneficial when booking in advance. So what did we actually manage to book then? Our full list of the confirmed bookings is as followed. We managed to get our breakfast at Topolino's Terrace, which I'm so excited for. We managed to get 2 reservations for drinks at Ogre's Cantina. We absolutely loved it in there, so it's definitely one that we need to revisit, and we will be doing. Skipper Canteen, of course, in Magic Kingdom, that one table service restaurant that we did find that we really enjoyed. I know that there are multiple table service restaurants in Magic Kingdom, but this one in particular was one that we really liked and we really enjoyed, so we really wanted to go back there. We also managed to get a confirmed booking for 50's Primetime Cafe, Le Cellier in Epcot. I'm really looking forward to going there. I've heard great things from multiple people about Le Cellier, so it'd be really good to get in there and try that out. We got a reservation for Wine Bar George, so we went to Wine Bar George as well last time on our last visit. We had a cute little date night in Wine Bar George, and it was really good. It was great food, great quality, and right up our street, so we wanted to get back there. We did also manage to get a table confirmed at Roundup Rodeo. So as I said earlier, Roundup Rodeo is that new table service that's coming to Toy Story Land in Hollywood Studios. Really excited to see what this is like. It's a barbecue themed, it's a barbecue restaurant. And I think the idea is that it's supposed to be themed as a playset that Andy has made himself and that he's set up. So really excited to see what the Imagineers have done with that and how that's turned out. We also got reservations at Beaches and Cream and Yak and Yeti as well. So I think on the whole, I'm really pleased with what we managed to get and all the reservations that we did get confirmed. I am a bit gutted that as of yet we haven't managed to get Ohana. We have still got 4 days to play with, so every day I'm going to be checking for the remainder of the holiday just to see if we can get those in that 60-day window that's ahead. It is a stressful one to get. I did really want to get it because the idea was that we were going to try and go and get a table around the time for Magic Kingdom fireworks. That of course is going to be the peak time, so if I do get it, it'll be like winning the lottery, so we'll have to see. But that's one of the ones that we didn't get. We haven't yet got anything for Via Napoli, and we also haven't yet got anything for Crystal Palace for that character breakfast that I was talking about earlier. So we'll see how it goes. I am going to keep trying. I'm going to keep trying to, you know, get those last minute bookings and kind of play with our plans a little bit and see what we can do. But overall, I'm really, really pleased with what we have got, and I'm really, really excited to get back to some of these restaurants and try out all these new ones as well. It's going to be a really, really good trip food-wise. I also just wanted to touch on some honourable mentions as well from our last trip. Although we haven't chosen to go back to these restaurants, they are all absolutely great in their own way. First one being the Hollywood Brown Derby. Hollywood Brown Derby is a signature dining restaurant in Hollywood Studios. Really, really good food. When we ate there, we had an amazing bread service. I had filet mignon, Rob had some chicken, and I think we had dessert in there as well, and it was just absolutely amazing. If you like your food and you enjoy that kind of classic Hollywood atmosphere, you know, proper tablecloths, great waiters, the staff really know what they're talking about in there. The servers are fantastic. I would definitely recommend checking out the Hollywood Brown Derby. Crystal Palace as well. So when we ate in Crystal Palace, it wasn't a character restaurant. Post-pandemic, up until about October 2022, I think, it was just a buffet style restaurant, so the characters didn't come out and meet with you. However, normally it's a Winnie the Pooh character dining experience, so you get to meet all the Winnie the Pooh characters, and it is of course Friendship Day. So in there every day is Friendship Day and it's one big party. It looks really cute, so if we can get that for breakfast, I would really enjoy that. However, we're just going to see how it goes with that one. But when we ate there last time, I have to say, characters aside, the food was incredible. I just remember some great fried chicken and gravy. There was some really good meatloaf in there as well. So definitely worth checking out. If you enjoy that kind of buffet style restaurant, I'd highly recommend Crystal Palace when you're in Magic Kingdom. Another favourite of ours was Tusker House. So Tusker House was a character dining restaurant in Animal Kingdom. We went for breakfast. Breakfast was recommended, and I'm so glad we did. Our server Chris was absolutely incredible. He really did make that day for us. We had some amazing interactions with the characters in there as well. The food was great. At the time, it was family style dining, which I think I preferred because it means that you never leave your table. My issue with buffet style character experiences is that, you know, if you're up getting food, potentially you're going to miss out on one of the characters. I know that's happened to us before when we've been at Disneyland Paris. So that is a bit of a concern. However, the food in there when we went for breakfast was great. It just kept coming. For the breakfast, you get things like sausage, bacon, eggs, Mickey waffles, syrup. They did this amazing breakfast curry, which sounds really bizarre at breakfast at least from a British point of view. It's not the kind of thing that we would eat at breakfast, but it was really good. And of course, that breakfast juice in there as well is incredible. Sci-Fi Dining also made the honourable mentions. Sorry, I couldn't get that word out just then. Sci-Fi Dining also made the list. We really liked it in there. It was great. It was a really cool atmosphere. It was really nice to just sit and kind of relax. So if you're not familiar with Sci-Fi Dining is a restaurant where it's themed like a drive-in cinema. You basically sit in a car or half of a car where your table is, and there's like old films being projected and like old adverts and stuff. Really cool. Dark in there, so probably not the place that you want to go if you are wanting to talk about your plans for the rest of the day, or, you know, have a chat with the people in your party and you're all kind of chatty and all that kind of thing. It's probably not the best place for then. However, really enjoyed our day in there. Really enjoyed our food in there, and it was a really good experience. So definitely one worth visiting if you haven't before. Also on the list, we have San Angel Inn in the Mexico Pavilion in Epcot. So San Angel was really nice. It was really cute. It's dark in there, so if you're not familiar with the Mexico Pavilion in Epcot, it is all indoors, which is great because it means that you get AC. It is a Mexican themed restaurant, so you're basically sat in a Mayan temple effectively. However, it's not like that on the inside, and the Three Caballeros boat ride goes past, so if you're lucky enough, you will get a table right next to the ride. We were kind of quite a bit further back, but you can still see the boats going past, and it was really nice in there. Food was good. The food was really good in there, so definitely worth a visit if you're a fan of your Mexican food and you want a bit of a break and maybe a bit of a romantic atmosphere in Epcot. Also on the list, we have Be Our Guest restaurant in Magic Kingdom. So Be Our Guest was my highest anticipated restaurant when we went last time on our last trip. It is a Beauty and the Beast themed restaurant. Was previously a quick service. It is now what's called a prefix menu, which is basically, for those of you in the UK, a set menu, meaning that you get a starter, main and dessert for a fixed price. I'm not too sure on the price of it currently. I think when we went it was about $75 plus tax and gratuity, of course, plus your drinks as well. So that was just for the starter, main and dessert. It was a great experience. For me, I think it was a bit of a one and done, but if you've never been before, I would recommend it. It's worth giving it a go and try and get that seat in the ballroom if you can. So there's 3 different areas. There's the library, the West Wing, and the ballroom that you can sit in. I absolutely love the ballroom. It was literally just like being in the ballroom from the film. Beauty and the Beast, if you weren't aware, is my favourite film, so top marks for that. But for me, I think it was a one and done. It is a little bit pricey, so you just need to weigh up whether or not that's worth it for you. And lastly, on our honourable mentions list from our last trip was House of Blues. So House of Blues is a restaurant in the Disney Springs area. We had some great barbecue in there, and usually they have live music as well. So if you fancy a bit of a chilled night in Disney Springs with some live music, definitely check out House of Blues. Of course, when it comes to Disney World dining, table service is not the only option. There's plenty of quick service available as well that doesn't require that booking ahead. So of course, when it comes to dining in Disney World, table service is not the only option. There are plenty of quick service restaurants available both inside and outside of the parks. When it comes to inside the parks, some honourable mentions that from when we ate there last time, of course, go to Casey's Corner, Satuli Canteen. The quick service at the Port Orleans Riverside Resort was exquisite. There's nothing better than coming back from a park day and getting yourself some cheeky chicken strips to take back to your room, or sorry, chicken tenders as they'd be called there, or a pizza. That large pepperoni pizza went down a treat after a long day in the parks. One thing that I would recommend is definitely take advantage of that mobile order on the My Disney Experience app. Absolute game changer, save so much time. Definitely get on that. And lastly, I just wanted to say that I really hope you've enjoyed this video. It's something that I absolutely love talking about. Booking Disney trips, whether that's going to Disneyland Paris or Disney World in Florida, is something that I absolutely adore. So let us know in the comments if you did enjoy this video or if you picked up any helpful tips from it. Also, let us know in the comments if this is something that you'd like to know more of. I would really like to put together a tips video for actually booking trips to Disney World and how I go about it. Obviously, everybody has their own ways, but if that's something that you'd be interested in, let us know in the comments down below. And yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for watching if you have got this far. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.